Hey, how's it going, everybody? In this video we're going to be doing something really different. We're going to be taking this Mustang, scavenging it for parts, and making a go-kart or some kind of smaller hot rod or something like that out of this Mustang. It's got a 2.3 in it. It's a little 4-banger. It runs and drives, the brakes are shot, and I think it has a leaking training line of some sort. So it was pretty rough.
$1,200 for it like 4 years ago.
Yeah, I paid $1,200 a couple years ago. Drove it for a year or two. It's pretty rotten out, so it's not really much use of anything else. And we can't really sell it up here in Canada because all this bullshit rust. Salt eats everything, so can't really use it for much more than the front windshield because the other windows got smashed out by some punk kids or something. So yeah, this is the introduction video. We don't really make videos that often, but here's our attempt at making the first one. Okay, stay tuned. Thanks for watching. Okay, so we changed our minds on what we want to do with the car. We're not going to salvage it for parts. We're going to build off of it. So we're going to strip it down to the bare minimum until it still runs and drives and everything, and have some kind of like a cart of some sort, mini go-kart, like just strip it all the way down and see what's left, like take the roof off and doors and fenders and stuff like that, and maybe bring the radiator back half a foot or so. Just make it as small and narrow as possible. We took the dash apart and made it still run. So that's all empty now. That was our first step, to get that apart and still make it be able to crank over and work. Yep. Okay, so we got the front clip off.
Piece of shit.
Upon investigating, there's holes, a lot of holes everywhere. Very rusty. So it's not a shame that we're doing this. For anybody else who's thinking that, like tearing apart a Mustang like this, but it's very bad. So it's not really worth the body anyways. Yep, so we're going to work on to our next area somewhere else. I'm not sure where yet, but... Okay, so another update is we got all the wiring that we don't need out of the engine bay. Got like all the airbag stuff and vacuum stuff that we don't need. We kept starting it and figuring out if it runs good still, and got all that cleaned up, so that's pretty bare. The battery's still here, but holding off and crash bar and everything. Yeah, this is another vacuum box. I think we need that one. Our next order of business is cleaning this up, taking all the stuff out we don't need, like speakers and any other sensors that we don't need, and then keep unplugging stuff and starting, see if we make it run still. Yeah, I know it's a 1999, no, not 1999, it's the 90s, but still got a lot of bullshit wiring and a lot of vacuum crap. Yeah, we want to take the EGR or the emissions shit off yet. Yep. So that's the update now. Next is this. Clean this shit up. Okay, so now we got the front of the car, the dash and everything is bare minimum. No heating system anymore, and the radiator and the vents all taken out. As far as we've ever taken a car, it's bare minimum. And yeah, it still runs. A little bit of a vacuum leak, we're thinking, but nothing too bad. Yeah, now we're moving on to the back. Take all that out and then go from there. Got a lot of stuff laying around now. All this came from the car. Yeah. And this is the back of it. Trunk has a couple holes right through to the ground. Okay, so now we got the inside all stripped out. Headliners out, seats and everything else, insulation. That's all gone. Yeah, and piled everything back on the truck. Ready to haul away. And now we're gonna start cutting it apart. We're gonna start with the roof. Make a line across. And then our plan is to cut along here. And then upward somehow, or we'll start cutting and see how it goes, but that's what our plan is. Cut the roof off and see how it looks, and then make more cuts from there. And yeah.
It should be apart.
Got a lot of cuts done now. That side's almost, I think that side's ready to come off. Cut it way along, this side's almost there. Got a couple more cuts on the inside. Cut all the way along. And soon this thing's gonna be a convertible. Permanent convertible. Cut. I know all the people are probably cringing at what we're doing, but whatever.
I lifted it off the ground, you see it?
No, right. So, this thing has lost a lot of weight.
We're not done yet.
Not yet. We gotta still
cut the back off.
cut the back off yet, but this thing looks nothing the same now.
It's not a Mustang.
Except for the wheel, the rims, pony rims. Yeah, there's the update. Went pretty good actually, just with the Sawzall blades. Didn't have to do any grind or cutting, which is good.
Yeah, we're gonna clean this all up yet.
Oh yeah, this is like dangerous as shit. That's like it right there.
Which one shouldn't be too
911 call away right there. A lot of mouse nest, and you can see the damage better for the rust.
The frame in the back just rusted out, dude.
Yeah. Yeah, so he's getting there.
Stay tuned. It's gonna be fun.
Next order of business is taking the fuel tank off, and then we're gonna cut right here, and then somehow mount the fuel tank back on. Yep, so that's the next step. Okay, so we were just working along and all of a sudden we lost the rear end. cut the back off now, and it's totally different. There's like no suspension. Suspension's all the way up because there's no weight. It's how light it is. Me and John could lift the whole rear end by ourselves. Yep. So the back's cut off now. Not sure yet what our next step is. I think we're gonna remount a fuel tank of some sort on the back here. Or before that, we're probably gonna clean up all these sharp edges and stuff like that. And okay, so update is we got all these rounded and they're not sharp anymore, so we can touch them and don't have to worry about it. Put a weather stripping on this one here. Still have to clean up this with the grinder, I'm thinking, or add something, some kind of foam or something there. That's still pretty dangerous.
Put the seats back in.
Yep, we put the seats back in, mounted them. Really close. We're gonna do a test drive first and see if we have to move them back yet, because we can easily do that, drill some holes. But seats are in now. Wiring harness is up for the fuel pump, which we just strapped here for now for our test drive. Yep, it's pretty tight. This all works. We got some fuel line hooked up, back up again, and we fired it up, and then we had a fuel leak down there. Get a flashlight. Right where those shiny clamps are, we had a big ass fuel leak and then fuel everywhere, so put a hose on there and some clamps, and that's fixed. And runs really good. So the next step is to we have a brake issue. There's a leakage somewhere. We're gonna find out, because you put the pedal right to the floor and it's nothing. So we gotta figure out what's going on there, and then we should be ready for our first test drive, I'm thinking, after we mount the battery better. But yeah, that's an update. Okay, so I figured out where the brake line hole is, the brake fluid leaking out. There's a joint where it goes into the engine bay right here. I guess it's been rubbing quite a while, and it's leaking right out of there. So I recut it here. We're gonna put I'm gonna flange it, the flanging kit, put a new flange on it, and then fitting, get a new piece of brake line to here. Goes right to there. So that's what I'm working on, and John's working on the wiring harness, figuring out what all the hot wires are and getting rid of them. So we only need the fuel pump reset switch there, and the fuel pump and the sender unit. Every other hot wire he's taking out, so no dangerous wires anywhere. Yep, that's update. Okay, so we fixed the brake line, or the brake issue. It was leaking pretty bad. I probably showed you right here. So we ended up replacing the whole line to the master cylinder down to there. Kind of Frankensteined it, but it'll work. And then when we got that fixed, the back brake line, there was a hole. I'm just gonna grab a light. There's a hole right here for the back. So upon further investigation, the whole back brake line is garbage and a whole bunch of holes and a bunch of bullshit. So we just cut it here and put a plug on it, because who really needs back brakes when you're playing and doing burnouts anyways? For now anyways, we don't need back brakes. And John got this all cleaned up. So now it's just the wires we need going to the sender and the fuel pump. Dash is hooked in. So now we know how much fuel we have, fast we're going, RPMs and all that. Still got to zip tie that together. And then mount the seat again. And then I think we're going to go get some seat belts, just lap over ones for now. And then go for a test drive around the block or something like that. See how she works, see if we need to do the rear brakes yet or what all needs to be fixed. Yep, so we'll do that. It is running really rich right now. I think it's the O2 sensor right there. And we're gonna diagnose it yet and then see why it's running so rich, because it's smoking like a tractor back there. Probably do a video yet on that. Yep. Okay, so we got the seatbelts put in over the lap ones. Actually work really good. Just use the stock click-in port and the stock bolt mount for the other ones. That works really good. And got the wiring kind of hidden for the sending unit and the fuel pump. That's nice and tidy. Oiled the shifter up. It was really stiff and stuff like that. And got this mounted back in without the explosive part of the airbag, so it doesn't look so hacked up for the steering wheel. Batteries mounted. Nice one, fits pretty good in there. That works. Sounds really good. Sounds healthy. No knock, no nothing. Okay, so we went for the first test drive, and everything seems to work good. Seems to have really good brakes for only having front brakes, so we're just gonna keep it like that until something else happens. Seats are in good position. They don't need to be moved at all, so we don't have to bother with moving the mounts. And it seems to be very low in power, even though we have everything stripped. Like there's nothing left to strip except for the windshield, but it seems to be very low in power. So we're gonna swap out the rear end because it has 273 gears. We have a 7.7 laying around out of this car. It used to be in it with 373s in it. So we're gonna put that in here and probably weld it together first because it's open diff. We have a 7.7.
It's an 8.8, isn't it?
No, this is an 8.8.
The other one's 7.7?
The other one's 7.7.
It has 355s or 370s or something, right?
Yep, so that's that, and that'll be, as soon as we get that done, that'll be the rest of this video. And then the next part of the video is going to be us having some fun with it on the farm or the back roads or something like that. Because it's very sketchy driving it in town. Like, you're just worried about somebody doing something right, calling the cops. So it's in hiding for a little bit right now, and then when the next video comes out, we'll show a little fun of it ripping around and stuff like that. Thanks for watching.